So I wanted to talk about the way that people interact with each other, particularly how people think of communication. Now, it's no secret that most people in the world think of communication as spoken words. And I think particularly as a borderline, it is really important for people to understand that it's not necessarily just the words that were spoken. It's the way that you have, I guess, interacted with people. Now, I guess I observe probably more than the average person with my low latent inhibition. I guess I observe a broader range of stimuli. Now, an example of that, I guess, yesterday I was helping the lady who keeps her horses at my house fix her horse's foot. We were taking the bandage off and rebandaging it. Now, she said to me, like, oh, I'm not really sure how to put this back on exactly the same as the vet did, so I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. And then I basically gave her the instructions, a play-by-play of exactly how the vet had put the bandages on, what method he used, like what order he did everything in. And she said to me, you've got a great memory, like I wish I had that memory. And then I said, well, I've kind of got this like photographic memory. So what it's like for me is having a huge computer hard drive, and that's my brain in the control center. Everything is filed into little files. So I can just access a file from any moment of my life, anything I've ever experienced, and I can play it back in my mind exactly the way that I saw it, as if I was there. Every second, every moment, every observation of that experience. And it's so bad, it's even my inner experience from those moments. So I explained that to her, and she said, wow, that must be so great. And I just said to her, I guess so. Except imagine remembering every single moment of your life. Imagine remembering as clear as day, even the bad things that have happened to you, the horrible experiences that you've had, the abuse or those moments, they're not just going to haunt you forever. It's like you can relive them at the click of a button any time, again and again. So it really does take a lot of strength and a lot of insight and a lot of willpower to try and file those away and not open those files when they are triggered. And it's really hard because sometimes they open themselves, and I do struggle to close them. So when I think with my parents, what they don't understand is it's not necessarily the words that they said to me all the time. It's a lot broader, their communication style as a whole. So for example, this morning, my mother said to me, what have you done with the smoothie that you made? And I said, well, it was really shit, actually. I didn't like it, so I just tipped it out. She didn't say anything in response. But this is what she did. She went, oh. And I don't think people understand how much judgment, how much you can actually communicate in a sigh of disgust, or even an eye roll. My dad is a great fan of the eye roll. So it's like, I can see it, whether it's out of the corner of my eye, I see it, or whether he does it directly in front of me. That eye roll, that disapproving eye roll. I see that. And I'm not reading into it. I'm not mind reading. It's like I am sticking to the facts. I see, what it is. And I know what that means because of the interactions I've had with them in my lifetime. And I think we all know what certain types of communication mean. We know when someone's disgusted in us. We know when someone's disappointed in us. And they don't have to go out of their way to specifically say, I hate you. You're a shit person. I think you can just communicate that in a lot of ways. And I think we need to be mindful of that because you could be communicating things that you don't want to communicate, that you don't realize people are picking up on. So I just wanted to point that out because I think those moments are they haunt me a lot. And maybe it is a low latent inhibition. Maybe it is the way that I see the world. Maybe it is the fact that I see too much. And I see things too clearly. That is half the reason I'm so mentally ill.